You're being lied to. Hollywood is lying to us all.
You.
What we're doing today is we're going to go through the myths that most filmmakers seem to think, before making their first feature, and using our experience, realising what is nonsense and what...
Lived experience.
Lived experience. Can't beat a
lived experience.
No. Let's go.
The Wagu Films Podcast provides advice for filmmakers, movie news, and updates on the team's latest projects. Subscribe now to not miss out on future episodes. Remember to give us a like.
Okay, so welcome to the Wagu Film Podcast, where we take you through lots of filmmaking advice from our experience of releasing our first feature film, Older Gods, and going into our second feature, Patriarch, coming soon next year. So, like I was saying, we're going to go through the myths that maybe we thought some were true. We hear a lot of other filmmakers kind of asking us and kind of like, is this true, is this not? Sometimes we're amazed by them. We're not sure if some of these are common sense, but we find that common sense goes out the window a lot of the time with filmmaking.
So it's common sense when the actual situation turns up. We go, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense now.
That is the thing. So we're going to go through a bunch, and so if you can like and subscribe and all that, basically, we've decided that if we one day get to 5,000 subscribers, not a huge target, but one day, we'll put Older Gods on YouTube for free. So give us a subscribe so we can get to that quicker, so everybody can see it and get it for free.
Nice.
So right, so let's get into it. So first off, I've kind of got a list of these myths or lies, or they're more myths, I suppose.
Organisation.
Yeah,
like
and
organisation.
Here we go. Somebody plans it.
You're
First off,
it.
you might know Scott's not here.
I just roll in.
Let's just do this.
Sit down, Sean.
Ad lib and see what happens. You might know Scott's not here because we couldn't go 2 weeks without something going weird. But no, at the end of the day, we got busy shoots and things like that. So Scott will be here next week. So any questions for him?
If you miss him,
if you just miss Scott, let us know in the comments.
Drop us a like.
If you've got any visual effects or post-production questions, leave them in the comments.
Right, or bad IMDb comments.
Yeah, because everybody seemed to think that it was just Scott giving all those bad comments. Right, so let's get going. So first off, we're going to talk about film festivals. Now, kind of a myth is something that's kind of lagged from the 90s, really, where a lot of people think, right, I've got this really good film, and the way I'm going to sell it is I'm going to get into Sundance, and I'm going to get distribution from just going to Sundance.
I'm going to win Sundance.
Yeah. Win Sundance, and then that's how I'll sell the film.
That's how, and me. That's what a lot of DOPs or a lot of directors think is like, I just need to win Sundance, and that's my next film.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. Yeah. If you do win Sundance, you will be fine, and that will happen.
There's a lot of people going in Sundance.
There's a lot involved about getting there.
Yeah,
well.
so there's
much.
First off, around 4,000 films are submitted to. This is not just Sundance. This is South by Southwest, Tribeca Film Festival, Toronto. Do you know all the big ones? Each of them, around 4,000 filmmakers are submitting films. So, again, you got a 1 in 4,000 chance of getting in. Another kind of thing is each year the festivals kind of have a little agenda. So it's kind of like, is there a certain
tick box exercise?
Yeah, is there a certain communities you want to show more of? Is there more diversity they want to show?
Inclusivity, yeah.
So, and how film festivals work is kind of, first off, you go to I can't remember what they couldn't call them, controllers. Basically, people they pay to just watch films and give them a tick to go to a second round. Then the second round is usually somebody who works isn't like freelance, somebody who works for the festival themselves. And then they look through it, and they're the ones that kind of confirm it's a good film, but maybe do some of these kind of, is this the kind of film we want to show this year because of these themes we want to do? If you're in certain genres, the other thing with film festivals, a lot of you watching now will obviously be indie film. You might be like just straight up drama and straight up. But if you're like us and you're a bit more genre in terms of like horror, sci-fi, sometimes comedy, unless it's like a bit of a drama-y comedy.
I like to think we're funny.
We're hilarious.
Not so much.
There's kind of, so there's a million things that go into it. So if you imagine you've got a 1 in 4,000 chance of getting there. And this is also, you got to think that each of the film festivals, there's like a bunch of separate, like imagine Sundance, isn't there like a strip with a few different cinemas or bars that they've set up, little screenings in. Yeah. So there's only X amount of ones they can show. So and half of them are big Hollywood budget ones that they now, have you noticed that the new they just get. I remember when we just obviously we didn't get into Sundance, but we submitted just to obviously
still submitted.
But I remember seeing the big budget films coming in. I was like, I don't think they applied via Film Freeway for £100 to see to go through the rate. They just called someone, didn't they? So so there's that aspect. So how we use film festivals is a bit. So basically, if you win Sundance, you're going to be fine, and you can we would always say apply if you have to have a film festival budget at the end of a film, which a lot of people kind of forget. So film festivals is kind of a numbers game. So we applied for, I'm going to say about 20, 30 festivals.
I'll probably say about 40.
And how many did we get in? It's about 15 or
10
something
to 15.
So we did win a bunch of awards and get in them, which is we're really proud of.
Here's one.
But
here's the award that we won.
You should, show them the back of it, Keith.
London
That'll really impress them.
That's the camera.
So you're gonna, but each of these, so all the good festivals, so like all the good ones. Sorry guys that we won. No, I mean all the big festivals, the mega ones. They're all like £100, $100, $200. I remember to get into some. So as soon as you've entered 5 of them, you spent £1,000 already. So, and if you don't get any of them, that is a waste of £1,000. So you kind of have to have a bit of a. How we used film festivals is to help with our marketing, and that's really how you should think about it. You know, we have laurels on.
Gotta love them laurels.
Love those laurels. If you do use something called Film Freeway, that's kind of like what we applied through them all. If you win one, you get official selection. It gives you a little thing that you can design a laurel in, which is cool and saved. But it's for marketing. We used it on posters. I think, did we put in the trailers? I'm not sure.
In the trailers. Everywhere. Every time we won one, we stuck it on our socials to let people know. But yeah,
it is a good stamp of certification of quality. It is mean that somebody thought this was good, which is
really nice.
Good. Yeah. So, and it was like, what were the ones we got into? I know there's
so we've got. Well, Liverpool Indie Awards, we've got Manchester Liftoff Film Festival. So we've entered loads. Sean, you won the San Diego International Film Awards. Well
cinematography.
For cinematography.
Best cinematography.
Dave, you were nominated in the Nevermore Film Festival.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah,
that's horror only.
That's like a horror genre, which is a really good one, actually.
And obviously the award there, which was the London Independent Film Festival Awards, which we won.
Yes,
for best
we did.
horror, which was fantastic.
With that one as well, we got an opportunity to invite the cast and crew down. Because we all kind of disbanded after COVID, and like Yain and Rory went there and started working for themselves. Lindsay is really, really busy with her acting. So I think it gave an opportunity to get some of the cast down and enjoy the moment, because we weren't able to get to like San Diego and Nevermore.
Yeah, well, even with London, if you think of like when it comes to the same when things get expensive, well, I think a lot of other film festivals they're about £50 or dollars. So
just go into London.
So we did spend a few grand applying with it, but you've also got to think of the budget of getting to these things if you win one. Like for example, a lot of us couldn't get to the London one because of not just the expense of getting there. Annoyingly, whoever organised it the day before the London Marathon.
That was it. Yeah.
So which is, if you're not from the UK, the London Marathon is the biggest marathon in the UK. Hundreds of thousands of people, like millions, I'd probably say, come to the streets.
Not just the runners, but people watching.
Cheering everyone on.
So hotel rooms comes from $100, £200 a night to $1,000. Yeah. So we were like, can we justify spending 5 or 6, 7 grand just to come for one night? Do you know what I mean? So we had to choose like a select.
No offence to the London Independent Festival. It's not South by Southwest. It's
not. So
Sundance,
it was just poor organising. Where if you just put it on a day where it was like $100 a night for a hotel and there's nothing nearby, but it would have gone. But it's just another thing of when you're planning for it. One of these right, just doing it. But it's more if you're going to take film festivals seriously, you have to have a budget for it. Yeah. Not just the applying for it, because applying for it is like throwing money away. Like we would have. I'd say all the ones we got of, what was it, 14, 15, because we got awards, we got official selections, but I'd say that's about £1,000 there spent applying for them, and we spent at least £1,000 on other ones that we didn't get into. So, but where they're really helpful is apart from your marketing, like Sean says, is actually when we actually got distributed, when we wanted to get onto Amazon Prime and Apple TV.
It's one of the questions.
All that, yeah, it's like, okay, you haven't got anybody like A-list stars in this. What film festivals did you enter? It's like another way of like them.
It's like a tick box, isn't it?
Yeah, so basically saying, okay, then it's so if you go to them and you're like, there's nobody in this, and oh yeah, we couldn't afford to enter any film festivals. They're just going to go, why should we put you in there? So it's kind of like the film festivals was a reason why we got noticed. So we did definitely get noticed, but not in terms of like people looking out for us. It was more distributors get a load of films, and all of these ones didn't get 15, 16 awards and film festivals. We did. So we were able to get distribution. So I say in a long-winded way, it's like it is important to do film festivals, but I hear so many people, I'll get into Sundance, and that'll be the first step of my career. And you're like, God bless you. I really do hope you do. But yeah, say 4,000 people. If 4,000 do, 100 of them, you've got to say. The other thing is, once you've probably been in Sundance, you then become a Sundance guy. So as soon as that person releases another, they're kind of auto in a way, unless they make a real shitter. So do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like you're kind of competing with the people who've already got it in the past, and these new 4,000 people trying to get in. So,
and there's always someone younger, better looking, and better at their job than you.
Except for me. So, but it's especially. So it's so it's basically don't go for it. Go for the dream. There's an amazing goal, but it shouldn't be your.
It's not your strategy.
No, it's not
part
strategy.
Of your strategy.
It's not. It's a gamble. So it's one of those where your strategy should be get a load of other smaller film festivals. That if you're confident in your film, and another trick is find a niche one. Do you know, like from if you're a horror film, try and find horror festivals. Or a lot of our ones where Keith mentioned we won Best Horror a bunch of times and stuff like that. Was in a lot of festivals they have categories. Yeah. So rather than just everybody goes for best film, don't do that. Go for the best your genre thing, because that actually looks better on your poster, or do you know, like that you won the best, because rather than best film, God knows what other films. And then
did a lot of winners get put into the best film anyway because they've won a category?
Yeah.
So that's the better route.
Yeah. So we're saying do film festivals. It's going to help, but don't get into Sundance, and then it'll be easy. I think everybody looks at Tarantino's career: one film, Sundance. Second film, Palme d'Or account. I'll just do that. So that's an anomaly. That's the word. Anomaly.
We just have to quickly explain how this podcast is sponsored by Filmwear. Stylish but practical clothing for film crews, video producers, and lovers of movies. All profits also go towards Wagu Films' next film, so you are both supporting the team as well as looking like an absolute legend. Go to filmwear.store today to pick up your crew t-shirt, sweater, hoodie, or training top. Now back to the show.
Wasn't that advert amazing?
Yeah.
Best advert.
Oh, wow.
No reason for us to put that there at all.
So, okay, so my next one's kind of going into, you don't need a distributor to get onto streaming. So, now you do with Netflix. With Netflix, you need something called an aggregator, which is basically a sales agent for just certain streamers. And Netflix is one of them. But I'd argue that Netflix sometimes is not the best one to be on, especially for small indie films, because you might argue that, but I get on, millions of people might get to see me. Hey, have you noticed that, do you ever go on Netflix and it's all the same 10 films when you scroll down?
It's the same production companies that have the same formalized films and the same documentaries and the same formalized documentaries. They've all got their aggregators. They're all just constantly in that churn. They know how to pitch. They've got the same people that are pitching for them, and they can get on that platform.
I mean, the rest of them are all the same, but Netflix is kind of, if you haven't got that A-list star, you haven't got anybody recognizable filmmaker, or recognizable IP. Do you know what I mean? If something recognizable, then they'll just they just give you an offer, and often that offer will be well underneath what you kind of wanted.
Surprisingly low.
Maybe sometimes underneath your budget, because they're just basically, we're Netflix. Take it, it'll be on Netflix. It'll get in front of millions of people.
We're Netflix.
Yeah, but it can't be on any other streaming for a year. So it depends. So if you're in this just for the famousness of your film and getting more eyes on it, then great. But again, with an aggregator is where we go back to things like the film festival to try and get them. But you've got to do pitches and make lots of effort from there. But when it comes to other streamers, you can get on Amazon Prime. You can have I think it's called an Amazon VOD account, where you can essentially put your film on. So you go through jumping through a lot of hoops.
What was the we used something Film Hub?
Film Hub was helpful for a couple of
little streamers.
Yeah, so things like Tubi, Apple TV, where you kind of do need a navigator. Fandango, which is really good actually. Fandango. I remember the New York Times did a review for us because they saw us on Fandango randomly, because it popped up on Fandango for free. So some New York Times journalist saw it and was like, "This is the best film ever." Don't
Google that. Don't Google that.
It was a very good one, to be fair. I was very excited about it. It was nice. Yeah, it
was a good review.
Yeah,
it didn't say this is the best film ever.
It was like
5 stars.
Don't quote
yeah.
Got a laurel.
Don't watch any other film this year. The New York Times. It was more kind of like my recommendation for the week. It was one of those type things. But yeah, so you can get on all those via something called Film Hub, which I think they take 20% of your earnings, but they do get you onto Apple TV and all them without you having to know anybody or anything like that. So at the end of the day, the point we're making is you can get on streaming yourself. It's just, do you want without any famous people in it, blah blah blah. But you're just going to need to do a lot of marketing for it. Otherwise, just because your film's on Amazon doesn't mean Amazon's going to show it to anybody. So if you don't, we have a bit of the luxury of, we actually own a marketing agency too. So how we got into all this nonsense in the first place was, we said we were going to do commercials and TV commercials about 6 months, a year, something like that.
Let's make some money.
Yeah.
Let's get the budget going.
We young kooky kids in our 20s.
20 years later.
15 years later.
Mortgages.
We were able to do it, but
babies.
But we are now, by doing that hard work and doing TV commercials, we're able to do what a lot of other people can't, because we've got all the gear, the post-production facilities, the team, but we also have a marketing agency, so with a social media team, and they were basically could market our film for us. So that's how we did well, even with a distributor.
And 20 years of business acumen to when we were talking to people about distribution and seeing how untransparent and, hey guy, you do this and you'll just end up here.
Come on, guys.
We were able to smell the bullshit a lot of the times with some of the guys that were trying to get us to sign on and sign away 50% of something. So,
well, it was very much
after their expenses.
Yeah. So they I think they work with a lot of filmmakers who don't have our experience, where they're like, yes, this was our debut film, but we've done over 1,000 commercials for. And then they were often going like, well, who have you done that with? And we were like, Jaguar, DHL, just naming global brands. Yeah. And they were like, oh. And we were like, who's the agency you're using to promote our film? And they were like, some guy named Graham. Kev down the street. No, but it's more, because the thing with this, because they did plan, the problem we were having with them is we're quite good at so we wanted reports. So let us know how it's, not being difficult, just being like, okay, you say you're going to spend it. They don't give you a number not all the time. I'll tell you why in a sec. Of how much they're going to spend. They're going to say, right, we're going to use our PR firm who's on retainer. So you probably get a week or so of getting press releases sent out to a good list, which could be worth its weight in gold. You know what I mean, in terms of getting people to see it. But again, there's no guarantees. But they also, the big thing with us is they said they were going to spend money on ads, and we were like, okay, that's cool. Could you just show us?
Well, we wanted to know, like, well, what's the budget? Who's the audience? Who's it going to be going to? Things like the stuff that we know. What to ask, like when the clients are asking us, we've got an idea of who it's going to be going to. But when we asked them those questions, it was like, we'll get back to you on that one. 2 weeks later, go by, and there's no email.
Well, reports. We wanted reports of, just tell us how. It's a click of a button. If you're doing Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, TikTok, whatever, you click of a button, you can download some analytics and just send us out just so we can see. Because what we were actually doing, and they didn't quite get that, you know what you're doing, we'll do it too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, but we'll only do that and spend money on ads if we know what's working. So we need to be able to differentiate between ours and yours, or try and have a uniform.
Help us optimize.
So it's basically, look, you spend, you're going to get 50% of what we make. We're going to get let's both work together. And they were like, no, we'll do it. We'll do it.
It was kind of trying to work in partnership with them to help the film, and they just wouldn't.
No,
do it.
And a lot of these distributors don't really tell you, especially with films, kind of indie small films. They've got 500 in the catalogue, and they're doing the same thing with 500 films, hoping that 50 of them take off, and that'll pay for their year. Do you know what I mean? That's their income for the year. So if one starts failing, they'll stop spending money on it. So with their ads budget that they spend, they'll do a few days.
They'll do their contractual. Yeah, that's what they'll do.
Maybe like $100 or something a day for a few days. Did they get anything? But it's also hard to. It's hard to do reports sometimes, because things like, if somebody does, like, say you go on Amazon, somebody buys your film and rents it, 90 days later is when you actually get paid by Amazon. So we weren't trying to see how this click adds into this amount of money. It's more, where's the conversions go, what's getting lots of clicks, what's blah, blah, blah. But we couldn't get any of that. So just be wary that, distributors might get you more eyes on your film, but you can do streaming yourself. Do you know what I mean? But the thing is, you do have to do a lot of marketing. That's just because it goes on Amazon means not everybody's going to say it. And kind of leading into the next one, which is kind of on the same lines, is we did get a lot of, look, in this industry, just words my bond. Don't worry about it. We'll just get going. We're partnerships. Don't worry about it.
Shake my hand. Yeah, don't ever take a gentleman's hand.
Never, ever. Any offer, anything, get it. Contract. You're always building up to contracts. But our thing was, we want things in writing before the contract.
An email isn't a contract either. No, just so you know, just get it in writing, get it in a legalized, and legally binding contract.
We're amazed by how many people were very much like, okay, so you're going to give us X amount of money. They're like, yeah, okay, put that in writing. That if we work with you, we're going to get that amount of writing. Silence back. So it's kind of and even we had one guy.
Did we get called too big for our britches?
We got too big for our britches.
Too big for our britches. Too big for our boots. Because we
went, why?
Because we asked them to put it in writing.
We weren't being difficult. We were just like, you say we're going to do that, and that's your offer to us. We've got other offers from elsewhere. Put it in writing, and we'll, like, there's 99% we're going to accept it. Oh, well, why are you being like that, guy? Why are you putting pressure on me? Because we're not a charity, you fucking idiot. So, I mean, it got to a point where in the UK, when you want to tax UK film credit, you know, like, because obviously you put your budget, you usually apply for a film credit kind of in production, so then you get a bit more money back that you can spend on post-production or the release or marketing, which is what we did. And somebody, without even agreeing with it, started doing the certification for the UK tax credit. And we were like, whoa, what are you doing? Because the guy who was doing it for him called me and asked me a couple of questions. I'm like,
I'm just putting together your budget.
Just like, putting it together. They're just about to do an application to the BFI. And we were just like, what? You haven't even put an offer on paper yet, and you're going to get the tax credit back? You're saying? So I was like, whoa. So we just. That was it, dumped.
Rein it back a bit.
Yeah, they tried to dazzle us with a lot of, look at the studio you can use.
Check out the studio.
So we were just like, no, but too big for our boots.
But didn't remember your name.
Yeah.
if you remember that.
We did get something on paper, where he did some weird...
Richard Davidson.
I think he called me Robert
Richardson.
Davids instead of David, where he doesn't even double check my name, which is just like, he's lazy. I can't remember what I think it was like... I think that was previous to the offer of the money. I think before that was like, this is what we would do for you, blah, blah, blah. Dear Robert, all right, I can forgive that. But you're just like, it's been like petty, but still like, you couldn't even be asked looking at what my name was. Okay, before pressing send.
Especially when you're emailing something that says that. I get that all the time.
Especially when it's supposed to be a legal document.
You spoke to each other face to face, and you spoke to him a couple of times on the phone. And you didn't even.
Yeah. So anyway, and he says, "Oh, don't worry, why are you trying to make me sign stuff, guy?" Don't trust that guy. That guy's an absolute idiot. Another one's kind of, a lot of people think that people want to work with exciting debut filmmakers.
Do they fuck?
Do they bollocks?
They don't. They want to work with like someone who's got a set script and budget already there. They don't want to give you the money. They want.
No.
The amount of times we've heard we're not working with new directors this year.
Yes.
What else have you done?
Yes, because it's weird. So it's kind of. Should I name and shame a couple of people?
Maybe not.
No, not organisations. That kind of sends us. The larger organisations, we're liable.
So it's kind of.
We could use like it rhymes with.
If I get 100 comments asking, I'll tell you next time. But no, it's more the everybody we asked for, even public. Should we say even public sector funding people? So because if you can't get private funding, you go to people like like. The UK has the BFI and has other countries. Like usually when you see logos pop up, it's like a country that it was filmed in. They give you
film funds.
They're not charities. They want their money back. So their first questions are, "Who's in it?" And then you go, "No, nobody heard of."
Have you?
Okay.
You heard of Scott Bishop?
So what have you? So what have you done before? And we're like talking about the marketing that we're very proud of, but we're like, we've done 1,000 TV commercials, like Ridley Scott did before he got started. Look, all these brands are like, yeah, but what feature films have you done? But we've done all these cool short films. But what feature films have you done? And then
that's the two
crawl
questions.
Back into your shell.
That's the two questions.
And they also go, what are your sales projections? And when we first started doing it, it's like, what do you mean sales?
What?
We don't know how much the film's going to make. And they're like, no, well, you've got to go and pay somebody a couple of grand. Good things is now there's software which does it for a lot cheaper, and AI can kind of do it. But at the time, you would have to spend a couple of grand getting somebody to put sales projections together, which is basically, here are similar films. This is how much they made in the box office, and blah, blah, blah. So without those three things, nobody bloody touches you. So that's what kind of, we got private investment at the end, as well as when we ended it for the first round of Patriarch before COVID hit, and Older Gods was just whatever budget's left, let's fucking do it and not wait around for anybody, which is what we would just recommend anyway. Is kind of like the Cavalry's not coming. If you've ever seen that really good talk by Mark Duplass about that, really inspired us. Did
Gareth Edwards do one as well?
He did a good one about but Search for the Cavalry is Not Coming speech, I think, of South by Southwest, about the realities of if you expect the cavalry to come and say, "Oh, some guy's going to buy my script," and then, or I've never done anything before, but the budget of this film's only 12 million quid, so that's only small. I'll get that easy. The cavalry's not coming. Nobody's going to work with you. So it's kind of like do it yourself, and then you keep doing it until eventually you become the cavalry yourself. But I'd really recommend searching that. It was really, really inspiring to get. And the funny thing is, everything he talks about on it, we haven't got quite as far as obviously him. But the first sections he's talking about, how like doors start opening and people start listening to you. So it's kind of a really big piece of advice I always kind of give is like, that thing you're working on, that big space epic or that 20 million. I mean, it's a small budget. It's only 20 million.
Yeah, really bad.
It's like 20 million is not. Imagine the amount of cash 20 million quid is. You've got to convince somebody to give you. Their first questions are going to be, who's in it? What have you done before? So if you've done it, so make a film that right for practicality, not creativity. So like, rather than, I always hear people say, write a script and it's just like what you, just don't compromise for anything. I'm like, do that on your third or fourth film. Your first one, just write something you can make. Yeah. So it's just like one camera, a couple of guys. And you're like, what equipment? What have you got? I've got a house and a car. Right. Write a script about a guy who's under siege in house, there's people outside, and he's just trying to get to his car to escape. You can do a feature film on that. So do that. Don't make your dream job, and don't. It's what's the word? Compromise for your artistic vision. It's like you can be as much of a fucking artist as you want, but if nobody gives you any money to make anything, you're not going to make anything. So don't wait for the cavalry to come. Write something that you can make and go for it, because nobody wants to work with debut filmmakers. And you got to think that we were talking before about, we've got a marketing agency, we've done 1,000 TV commercials. Just the fact we hadn't done a film, nobody would touch us. And we were trying to keep, we started with just a couple of million, and it kept going down. And there's a weird mix as well. There was one public thing recently, we're going into our second film, where we were really trying to keep our budget down so they would give us. Do you know? So we weren't asking for too much, and then they got back going, "We're not working with budgets less than." Budget's a bit low. We don't think we'd work with you. Like, fuck off. So make something. Do you know? If you're going to spend a load, I keep trying to. Shorts are good practice, but if you're making a short that you're spending a lot of money on, spend that money on a feature film. Just something 90 minutes long.
Who's the director or producer that he's got his triangle of budget, and it's like talking location?
Oh yeah, Bloom. Yeah,
Bloom. The Bloomhouse stuff. Yeah, I mean,
what is it? I think it's something like actors, named actors,
location,
lots of locations, and visual effects.
Yeah,
I think it says you can have 2 of the 3.
You can have 2 or 3, and that the other one has to be the smaller of the. So if you've got lots of locations, you're going to have less named actors and 0 effects. Yeah. If you've got a big name actor, you've got to lose the location. You've got to turn it to one location.
Yeah, which is good. Which is a good way of doing business. But at the end of the day, he's also Bloomhouse still did 5 million low budget film. If you haven't got 5 million, you're going to have.
He's got his route to theatrical.
Will you have one of those points in the triangle?
Go do your research. See what amazing films are based in one location and have one main actor with speaking parts. There are shitloads. Yeah. And you don't realise.
Yeah. So it's kind of, our advice is basically go and make a feature film with whatever you got. You can, in a weekend, you could make a 90-minute film. It's not about you have to be filming for months and months and months. That's another thing that people tell. We did Older Gods in 20 days, I think it was. We were a week in the cottage and then like another week doing the woods and everything else.
Pick up week back in the cottage. Yeah.
Couple of shots here and there in the hallway in the office, close-ups of hands and stuff. But it's even if you don't make anything, that's what I mean, don't have to spend loads of money on it. Making that first feature film, all those cocky guys who were like, well, what have you made before? You can go this. Yeah. And if it's good and you're proud of it, and it goes back to the bit at the beginning, we're talking about some free film festivals. Your first film isn't your money maker. Like we did pretty good, but we spent a lot on marketing. So it's kind of like, where's your profits and stuff? But so if you need to get investment from somebody or blah, blah, they're lying to you. When you hear of that debut filmmaker who got a big budget or got. Often that debut filmmaker got an agent before he made his first film, like a big CCA or CA or whatever they're called, through somebody. And then, so a lot of these debut filmmakers is because they had a big agent before making a debut film.
It's not even debut filmmakers as well. They're not debut. It'll be the first big budget film he's produced.
Yeah, they do a load of little.
So like they would have made features prior to. It's just you don't know about them.
Yeah,
it's just this, and it's how they string it, how they PR it. But usually, it's never a debut filmmaker.
No,
it's debut working with the studio, or debut working with this amount of money, or debut. Yeah, so don't fall for the hype, people. Don't fall for the hype.
Don't do it. Yeah, but you do have to make that feature film to open those doors for you in the future.
It's your card. It's your business card. That's what you pass around.
Yeah, and if you're spending money on a short, I never like spending money on shorts. If you could even if you're spending 10 grand on a short, you could spend 10 grand and make it on a film. You just can. The writing of it's hard, and it'll be a arseache to make, and it'll be hard. But if you round up some friends who are willing to just be on camera for free, maybe if it makes any money, you give them a percentage of it. Do you know what I mean? You just pay for the camera. Just use your bloody phone. Phones are weirdly good now. You just put that money into sound, so it sounds really good. Or pay a musician to put some really cool music on it. You can make a film with 10 grand or something. So do it. What are you waiting for? Okay, well that's about it. We'll leave it there because if you talk about it for ages,
chewed your ear for long enough.
Yeah, we'll maybe have a part 2 of this one day, but it's kind of there's the ones that kind of come to mind.
And for the ASMR version of this podcast, please go to
yeah. For Keith's OnlyFans version of this, just click the link below.
That's it. We're building up our subscribers so until we get an OnlyFans.
We're going to dance. We're going to. But thanks for listening, guys. If you could subscribe to the channel, it's really helpful. It's really going to determine what kind of things we're going to make, and we want to make more shorts that you guys will like. Again, going back, we're not doing it just for it'll be shorts just for you guys.
Remember to send us yours so we can watch.
Any
give
links,
you feedback.
Put them in the comments. I remember if we eventually get to 5,000, we're a while off, but once we get to 5,000 subscribers, we'll put Older Gods
on YouTube for free. So you can slate us in the comments
there. So that's it. So otherwise, take care of yourselves.
Keep it Wagu.
We love you very much.
And freeze frame. How long was the credits?
They went on for a bit. There's only like 3 or 4, but it's still recording. Is the sound still going?
No. It's gone off.
Is it?
Is it
no.
still going?
Oh.
Bye, guys. Bye.